Cadillac. Yes, I'm Cadillac Dixon. I'm the Drama Life Prison Wife. I'm the legally blind artist that is rapping and painting for justice, hoping, because you got to hold your breath for justice, to see justice before all phase two blink. Yes, it's your girl Cadillac. Anyways, guys, I'm coming through December the 30th, 2025. Crazy. So, yesterday I did try to release a video. It had no sound. So, I'm gonna try again. Oh, sorry, I'm tired. I am so tired. I got, was it Sunday? Yeah, after Vizzo, I got out of Vizzo and I literally slept from 5 p.m. till the morning came on Monday. I literally did not want to get out that bed. I kept snoozing, snoozing, snoozing. And I finally got up about 10. The next day, I got no sleep. I have not slept like that in so long. It's a fusion of basically morning, um, also being like just tired physically, mentally, spiritually tired, and just almost like just sitting here waiting for basic like instructions on what God really wants me to be doing. Like I share with you guys, I felt like I had a purpose, and now it's feeling like I pursued the wrong purpose for so long that I almost don't want to even make another step without, you know, like almost I really need the Most High to just come slap me across the face with it. Like, this is what I want you to do. Almost like I wish it could be so clear. But so I'm just here in waiting basically. So it's a lot. Yeah. So yesterday we were cleaning up, trying to prepare the house for family coming out of town for my cousin's funeral. You know, most of my family resides in Chicago, so they have to make that trip down here. Um, so trying to prepare the house, you know how it is with people coming in. Trying to keep the house clean with kids messing up as soon as you clean up. It feels like I work in a restaurant bussing tables, and it's equivalent to I can have the entire dining room clean and then it'll be a rush. People will eat and it will look trashed, like nothing whatsoever was done at all. Like I did nothing, right? That's how it feels like at the house. Like every bit of trying to keep it together is really just in vain because before first I'm dealing with attention deficit issues. It is very difficult for me to stay on a task for a long length of time, long enough to finish the task. So I'm already fighting myself, and it's times I push through and get like most of the stuff done, and I might have to come back and sort out this or sort out that and fix this, but it'll be decent. And I promise you, before I can even come back to finish, it is messed back up to the point where I started. So it looks as though I've done nothing. Like the enemy in my life has really did a great number in making me feel like every single thing, whether purpose wise, whether in the family, whether anywhere that I am, anything that I do, and I go above and beyond. I go way, 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 way above, way beyond what I really have in my capacity to do. And it still is in vain. It is still not enough. It still doesn't make the cut. So trying to clean up as someone's directly behind you messing up, that is very challenging. And it will play tricks on your mind because you'll be like, am I really doing anything? Because nothing's ever done. So dealing with that, trying to get the house in order. I gotta twist my locks. My hair is everywhere. Um, gotta find the dress that I was gonna wear to my cousin's service. I was just going to wear what I wore to my mother's. I never wanted to ever wear that dress again in life, but since I'm going in honor of someone's life, it's kind of the same situation. So I might as well wear the same dress. But I gotta get my clothes out, twist my locks, clear out my car, finish the house. It's overwhelmed. And in between, constantly go to work. Because I work to live and I live to work and barely pay bills, right? I hustle hard until it hurts, and it does. All my TMJ hurts. My jaw is tight, very tight. My carpal tunnel hurts. My arthritis. My fingers are sore. It hurts. I work my fingers down to the bone. And once I pay my bills, ain't got nothing to come home with. Matter of fact, I'm in the negative. I owe. uh, his your girl Cadillac. But yeah, it's kind of been a struggle. It really has. But with all in all, I am still here, which means I still have a purpose. I think about think back to December. I tried to do this video yesterday, which would have been December the 29th, 2025. Well, December the 29th, 2024, I was on my way with my sister, my daughter, and our grandchildren from Chicago to Florida on a very long plane ride. It is usually 2 hours if you go straight through, but we had to change planes twice. And I don't know, did we change planes twice or did we stop? It was either on the way there we changed twice, so we rode 3 different planes, or it was on the way back we rode 2 planes, but it was a stop. We stayed on the plane and then continued. I was actively December the 29th, 2024 in ketoacidosis, and it was horrible. I could not stay out the bathroom of the plane. I would drink this much. You know that's what they serve you on a plane. They don't give you but that much. Drink that. I got to like pee like it ain't nothing. Like I ain't never peed a day in my life. And I would sit down and it would be cramping all up in my stomach. Like you know how when you hold your, you got to use the restroom and you hold it for a long time, how it hurts. It was hurting like that. I'm like, I just got out the bathroom. And every single time I would go to the bathroom, my sister, who I was her companion because she's epileptic, every time I would get out my seat, she would go into seizing. As we checked into the area to check in and to check your bags, my sister fell right in front of the person and fell out and had a seizure. I had came behind her. I'm hurting. I'm in ketoacidosis. I'm not knowing that I'm like this close to be gone. And I'm still trying to catch her and stop her from hurting herself. And the lady, the attendant was like, y'all ain't flying today. Y'all ain't flying today. And if I had stayed any longer, I would have been in ICU in Chicago because I ended up in ICU here in Orlando, Florida. And I don't know, it was the grace of God that I survived in ketoacidosis for, I want to say it was a couple months. You don't usually last a couple of weeks or days because the lady's like, no, you couldn't have been in ketoacidosis that long because you would have been gone. But I was in ketoacidosis on that plane ride. And then they checked my blood sugar and they lost my results. So they had to check my blood sugar again, another round of results, which was not the instant blood sugar. It was a doctor's appointment. And then it was following up. And then it was following up again. And it was mid-February, almost March, when they were like, look, your A1C is 14 off the charts and you're in ketoacidosis. That long, from December to March, walking around with the highest A1C. And I could not understand where I went from 250 pounds, big woman, to my all the fat gone. So my skin is sagging. I don't even know what's happening. My skin was sagging. And I'm just dropping weight. And nobody knows. Everybody like, oh girl, you look great. What you doing? What you doing? Nothing. I don't even know what's wrong with me. I got dehydrated when I was in Chicago. Not knowing that, no, baby, you about to be going to bed. It was my cousin that now is, you know, that told my daughter to take me to the emergency room. And I said, I'm not going to emergency room. I'm going to work. Baby, my daughter took me. She said, what is your deductible? And I said, oh my goodness, it was like 175. I'm not going. I ain't got no 175. She's like, Mom, I will pay it. I went. They kept me. I stayed in that hospital about 4 days. And glory be to God, I was released. I was released on 2 types of insulin, long acting and short acting insulin. I had never had to take insulin a day in my life. I never had to take diabetic medicine. I never had to take nothing. And I was released out the hospital on all of these medicines. And I'm like, what? Huh? How did I get to this? What happened? And my cousin, who ended up, I tell you that story, he became diabetic in like around 15 years old. It could have been sooner, but he had childhood diabetes. And he was like, I'll show you what to do. But what's crazy, what is crazy, the whole year before, my cousin and I were not talking. We weren't talking. I decided in my life, I feel like I have tried to have every conversation I need to have with each person in my life, letting them know how they're hurting me, letting them know what they're doing to me. And people just don't care. Even those, and especially those that say they love you, especially those that are family. Family will love you in the worst way a lot of times. They will hurt you in the worst way. And I got tired of being in certain relationships, telling people certain things, which is not just one relationship, it is many, multiple relationships in my life. That is why I think the Lord basically had me just try to break away from everybody. And you go through, that's what they call the wilderness, right? And just be away from everybody. I was shown that as a child, and I thought it was a nightmare that God said, "You will be alone." I thought it was a nightmare. I went to the youth pastors and I was asking for answers and stuff, but a lot of times you can't. You have to be alone, and people will not love you the way you need to be loved. So it is sometimes you just have to do. You have to cut ties. You love them, but you have to cut ties. And there were some family members that did some things to me, and it wasn't, no matter what I how I try to reason with you, like, please, this is hurting me, stop doing this. It's done again. No regard. So me and my cousin, we're not talking because I felt like we could not get past that, because I keep airing how I feel. It feels like it's being discarded. You're not listening. Or it's blame shifting back on me. It's still all my fault. And I go home and I'm constantly working on myself. I'm constantly, because almost in every relationship in my life, the reason the relationships are not the best, it's all turned back on me. It's my fault. So, me, I am a person that tries to self improve, and I go back and work on me. But until you work on you too, the relationship can't improve because we're only working on me. So I just said, you know what? This isn't going nowhere. And one day, I do have this complete story about that, but I mean, not right now. I won't tell you right now, but I just said it's what it is. I'm done. I love you. It's not changing, and I can't hurt no more. So we were not talking. But when I ended up in that hospital, he was the one to call me. And I talked to him like nothing happened. And that's my usual. You hurt me and I act like it didn't even happen. You don't even have to apologize. I never get an apology. No one ever apologizes to me. And we will talk like it never happened. And that didn't happen for a long, long time. And then finally, when I was in the hospital, I was like, we talked like it was nothing happened. And my cousin, he said a prayer, and he was like, "I'm sorry if I did something wrong. I am so sorry. I don't know what I did. We all, it had to be over a year that we did not talk. Over a year." And he came back into my life and walked me through this new diabetes diagnosis. And I promise you, once they got me out of ketoacidosis, I really have not had no issues with my diabetes. He taught me how to check my sugar. He was saying you have to play with the insulin. You have to see like how much you have to take, and you have to skip the insulin sometime to see how your body reacts. You have to, he was giving me a lot of advice, and I didn't know any of these things because at the time I was isolating. And Marcello was like, you're going to have to talk to some of your family because they know about diabetes and this and that. And I'm like, but Marcello, I can't. We're going through the same cycle. I'm trying to break cycles in my life. Life is very, very, very short, as we're seeing. And if you consistently are hurting me in the same way, I can't, I don't care how much I love you. I can't keep allowing you to hurt me like that. But I couldn't no longer. And from March until December, when my cousin unexpectedly passed, it was like our relationship changed. He was like, Keita, I'm not the same person. And you hear that, you want to believe it, but being through this, you can't just believe it. But not knowing that had I continued, because it could have went different. When he reached out to me when I was in the hospital, I could have said the same thing. I love you, but I just can't keep going through that. I can't. And I could have shut the door because the final discard is supposed to be the final discard when you're dealing with narcissistic. I believe it's a spirit. I believe it's a spirit and allegedly like a generational curse that takes hold in a family. And we know it's not our family members. We know that. But you can't keep continuing to hurt behind the same pains, right? So I could have done that. But I thank God that I just said, you know what? And we talked like nothing happened. Because I would have felt, I would not be, it would be harder right now to make peace. This is already hard to make peace with my cousin being gone. My baby cousin that I had a hand in helping raise. Y'all know I have many children that I have raised, starting from my little sisters to my cousins to my nieces and nephews to even helping with my grandchildren. It hurts. It hurts. It hurts. You always want the younger generation to far outlive the older generation. But I'm just so glad that we were able to have that conversation and completely get past that and have from March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, almost 9 months later to reconcile and make it right before one of us were gone. So I guess that's a testimony of the truth and what you have to be willing to deal with when you do final discard. And the final discard really is your last resort. And it really was my last resort because I went through certain things for decades of my life. I've been taken for granted by so many, but I understand why. I get it now. I did not get it when I was younger. I could not understand why the ones I love the most love me the least. But I really do get it now. And I thank God. And even when I didn't know if I was going the right way, if I was doing the right thing, if I really shouldn't be doing this, God still guided me through all of that. And I thank God. Like I said, I was able to minister to my cousin before his passing, right before his passing. So I pray that he made everything all like he got his house in order before with the creator. And all right, guys, I will talk to you later. See ya, girl, Cat.